Hello and thanks for joining us in another edition of National Focus. I'm Mervin. Coming up, UNICEF Regional Director reports on two-day visit to Dominica. French group from Martinique explore collaboration with Dominica, and enumerators being trained to conduct 2013 labor force survey. Stay with us for details of these and other stories after the break.
Listen closely and you will hear what climate change might sound like. Hurricanes getting stronger and more frequent. Glaciers melting, causing a rise in sea levels. Dry bush burning after a prolonged drought left the bushes vulnerable to fires.
What? No water again?
But listen closely again and you will hear the solutions. People switching to energy-saving light bulbs. People building stronger homes that can withstand hurricane force winds. Our climate may be changing, but so can we. Making small changes together can have a huge effect on reducing the impacts of climate change. Act now. Rally, rethink, respond. This message is brought to you by the OECS Secretariat with funded assistance from USAID.
Documentaries and in-depth discussions, community walkthroughs, and Yes We Care. See it all on GIS Channel 7.
Welcome back. Time now for the details of the news. 55 enumerators who will conduct interviews during the 2013 labor force survey to begin on April 14 are being trained this week. The two-day training workshop, which began on Thursday at the Public Service Training Center, will inform the officers on how to conduct various components of the labor market information survey. The primary objective of such survey is to provide current information on labor market characteristics and labor market trends, including estimates of employment and unemployment. Chief Statistician Prima Corrett says this week's training program is one of several mechanisms which must be put in place before the official survey begins.
The 2013 labor force is therefore a dual survey, the first of its kind in Dominica and the region. It must be noted that national operating mechanisms are already in place, more recently the establishment of the National Labor Force Committee.
The chief statistician called on the field officers to take the training seriously as it will determine the type of data collected.
Your work is critical since the information you collect from the field will be used to generate indicators for the Dominica labor force. Therefore, it is important that you follow all aspects of the training for reliability of survey data. We also urge you and encourage households selected to cooperate with the field officers as they conduct household visits.
The survey will be carried out in 1,368 households across the island. When complete, the survey will present useful data to both government and the private sector for purposes of planning and formulating policies. The results of the survey will also be used to validate the national census, which was conducted 2 years ago. In addition, it will also provide information to meet the global commitment to complete the Millennium Development Goals. The training exercise is supported by the Organization of Eastern Caribbean States and the Caribbean Development Bank. The government of Dominica has rewarded 2 young female athletes for their achievements. Prime Minister Honorable Roosevelt Skerrit announced on Tuesday that 2012 Olympian Luan Gabriel, who won gold at the 2012 Carifta Games, and 2013 Carifta gold medalist Shani Angal would receive full scholarships to complete their education up to university level.
One, a full scholarship to continue her high school education. Secondly, a full scholarship to attend the Dominica State College. And thirdly, a full scholarship to attend university.
The government of Dominica has manifested its commitment towards advancing Dominica to the next level through its measures taken to improve infrastructure, housing and security. At the opening of the new Granby Police Station and the handing over of Petrocasa houses, which took place on Tuesday, ministers present expressed that these establishments serve as proof of the government's efforts to develop the country. Minister for National Security, Honorable Charles Savre, informed the public of the initiatives which the government has been taking to provide resources for effective operations of the police force.
We have sought to ensure that every police station and every police unit is equipped with a police vehicle to ensure that we are no longer told by the police when we call on them for assistance that, quote, we have no transport, unquote.
Honorable Savre said that the People's Republic of China has agreed to supply some 90 motorcycles for the use by the police force. Also, the United States has committed to the development of a Coast Guard base in the town of Portsmouth. He also listed some other initiatives taken to improve the service of the force.
Other initiatives include the exposing of our police officers to overseas training opportunities and greater targeting and increased focus on the specific skills presently lacking in the service. With the help of our development partners, we have accessed numerous new initiatives which will result in improved service delivery. Some of these initiatives are increased training in intelligence gathering and analysis and drug interdiction, introduction of cybercrime investigations, the commissioning of a modern automated fingerprint identification system to include the training of officers to take and interpret fingerprint data, the introduction of legislation for the use of video recording systems in interviewing suspects involved in serious crimes, and the training of police officers to conduct such interviews.
The government has also aimed to take housing in Dominica to the next level through the Petro Casa allocations. Ivor Stevenson, Parliamentary Secretary in the Ministry of Housing, spoke on behalf of the Honourable Minister for Lands and Housing, Honourable Reginald Austrie. He said that it is government's aim to create access for Dominicans to affordable housing facilities. He listed the conditions under which the beneficiaries of this housing development are bound.
The premises shall be for residential purposes only. The beneficiary shall be responsible for the payments of all utilities, insurance, and local government taxes. Unless paid for, the beneficiary has no power to dispose of the property by will. Unless paid for, the beneficiary shall not sublet at any time. That the houses are free, but the beneficiaries are required to pay for the land at $1 a square foot.
Prime Minister Honorable Roosevelt Skerrit assured the public that the government will continue its efforts to develop the lives of its citizens.
We have done a lot of work in that area, but we still have a lot more to do. And I give you the assurances, my dear people of Grand Bay and the rest of Dominica listening, that we shall continue. Notwithstanding the economic challenges which we are facing as a nation, as a Caribbean, as in the world, the good Lord will provide for us to provide for you. And we give you that commitment that whenever we have the resources, we shall continue to make it available to help you, to help yourself, and to help your families.
In more news, UNICEF's Regional Director for Latin America and the Caribbean, Bernd Assen, ended a two-day visit to Dominica on Wednesday. The purpose of the visit was to get an update on projects and programs supported by UNICEF. During his visit, Assen met with Prime Minister Honorable Roosevelt Skerrit, Minister for Education Honorable Peter Seja, and Social Services Minister Honorable Gloria Shillingford. Assen also had the opportunity to visit educational institutions catering to vulnerable youth in the Carib Territory and Roseau. The UNICEF Regional Director, while here, took the opportunity to follow up on the country's commitment to report on the Convention on the Rights of the Child Committee. He told the press conference on Wednesday that he is impressed with his findings.
We got the very good news from the Honorable Minister of Social Services that the report from the government to the Committee of the Rights of the Child are just about, this report that is just about to be finalized, and within a week or two they will issue the report to the committee, which has its headquarters in Geneva, in Europe. And that is good news because it gives the committee the opportunity to give policy feedback to the government and also to us who are working, supporting the government. So we would like to congratulate the government for this effort. We know it takes a lot of work to get this done, and I'm also impressed that actually the whole cabinet has been engaged in the discussions.
Currently, UNICEF is supporting the government of Dominica in ensuring that marginalized and disadvantaged groups of urban and rural children benefit from effective service delivery. A visit by the UNICEF officials to schools in the Carib territory confirmed that much progress has been made in that area.
In many countries, providing education to minority groups is always a big challenge. But we visited the schools in the territory, and we spoke with children both in primary school and secondary school, and it's clear that they very much appreciate this opportunity to attend school, that we understand from them that many of their parents didn't have. So we can clearly see that there has been a lot of progress here.
The regional director of UNICEF is also impressed with efforts by government to make early childhood education compulsory.
The new policy that has been developed for early childhood development, which is the plan for investments in children from, let's say, 0 to 3 years old, are quite groundbreaking, in the sense that I think Dominica here is really showing the way in the Caribbean sub-region in terms of giving priority to investment in children at a very early age, which exactly is what you need to do if you want them to be able to develop to the maximum of their potential.
The government's efforts at universal secondary education also came in for high praise from the visiting UNICEF official.
It's the right thing to do, but we know this is costly, and we know that Dominica is among the countries that have the highest percentage of their national state budget actually now dedicated to education. So again, we need to congratulate the minister and the government, the cabinet, for this achievement. And I think what is paying off and that will pay off in the future is that it's not like a one-off. We have seen that for many years priority have been given to the educational sector, and that is what eventually gives results long term.
The regional director of UNICEF, who was accompanied by his colleague Kin Sandy Lewin, also had the opportunity to hold discussions with officials of the Ministry of Social Services on important matters such as violence against children and sexual abuse of children. The UNICEF delegation left the island on Wednesday. A visiting French delegation from Martinique is looking to collaborate with the city of Roseau in a number of areas, including sports, health, culture, and education. 50 members from the Saint-Esprit Association of Martinique arrived in Dominica on Wednesday to hold discussions with the mayor of the city of Roseau, His Worship Cecil Joseph. The mayor of Roseau, in welcoming the delegates to the island, said the strengthening of links between Dominica and Martinique could be of benefit to the island's economy and its people.
And as a people in the same waters, we must remain together to ensure our culture, to ensure our status remain alive for the rest of the world. As the mayor of the city of Roseau, I will work with the Association of Saint-Esprit to ensure that as a community that we work and live together.
For the representative from the Saint-Esprit Association of Martinique, Madame Renaud, it was a pleasure for her group to have visited the island. Another member of the French delegation, Monsieur Maurice, expressed excitement about the possible collaboration between the both cities. He is looking forward to future visits to the island.
This is not the first time that I am coming to Dominica. I've been here before, and this is not the first time that we are organizing a trip like that. We will organize more trips, and perhaps we'll have more people to come to Dominica.
The French delegation will leave the island on Saturday. And that's all for the English news. Coming up next, your tip of the day.
Listen closely and you will hear what climate change might sound like.
$30 for a hand of bananas?
Severe drought could destroy banana plants and drive food prices up.
And now we could see the dead coral reef below us.
Dead coral? I thought it was alive.
No, it's dead. If you look at the pictures, you can see what the coral used to look like.
Oh, wow.
Natural wonders like coral reefs are disappearing. But listen closely again, and you can hear the solution. People disposing of garbage responsibly and not in drains and rivers. People responsibly discarding engine oil. Our climate may be changing, but so can we. Making small changes together can have a huge effect on reducing the impacts of climate change. Act now. Rally, rethink, respond. This message is brought to you by the OECS Secretariat with funded assistance from USAID.
Documentaries and in-depth discussions, community walkthroughs, and Yes We Care. See it all on GIS Channel 7. Channel 7. Channel 7. Channel 7.
Be easy on the eyes. Eye strain is a common cause of headaches. Simple eye exercises and even a nice massage to your neck can help relieve the pain of eye strain. Be sure to speak with an eye care specialist so you can make sure your course of action is an ideal one. And that's all for National Focus today. We welcome your suggestions and comments. Please feel free to drop us an email at gis@dominica.gov.dm or visit our website at news.gov.dm. On behalf of the entire news production team, I'm Mervin. Thank you so much for watching.